Hi, today's lesson is about passive active voices. We take a look to the examples. I eat an apple. Second example, an apple is eaten. Third example, I ate an apple. Fourth example, an apple was eaten. For the first example and the third example, so we have subject, verb, plus direct object and apple. They are active forms or active sentences. Here, the subject is doing the action. The subject is the doer of the action. That's why they are called active voices. For the second and the fourth example, an apple is eaten or an apple was eaten. Subject is an apple, is eaten, is or was eaten are the verbs. Here, the subject isn't the doer of the action. That's why it's called passive voice or passive form. For the verb is eaten or was eaten, we have auxiliary verb to be to the tense of the verb on the active form plus the past participle of the verb. Here we didn't use the agent by me. An apple is eaten by me because in English doesn't exist to use indirect object with by. So when you have I, you, he, she, it, they, for active voices, when you transform them to passive voices, we don't say by plus indirect object, by me, by you, by him, by there, and so on. It doesn't exist in English. It's false to say that. So we let the sentence as it is. Now, for the fifth sentence, we take a look. My parents gave you a great lesson about morals. So here, my parents is subject, gave is the verb, you, and direct object, a great lesson about morals is direct object. On this sentence, we have two ways to transform the sentence from active to passive. The first way is to start by the direct object. So we say, a great lesson about morals was given to you by my parents. Was here given the auxiliary to be, verb to be, to simple past as the verb gave on the active form plus past participle of the verb. To you is indirect object. By my parents is the agent here. It's a noun phrase. That's why we use it by my parents. Or we can start by the indirect object you. You were given a great lesson about morals by my parents. So both of them are correct. Either you start by direct object or by indirect object. The eighth example, Newton discovered gravity. So here discovered, it's simple past and the sentence is to active voice, subject, verb, direct object. We transform it to passive voice. We say gravity. We exchange the places of the subject and the direct object. Say gravity was discovered. The auxiliary verb to be to the tense of the verb in the active form. Here it's simple past plus past participle of the verb by Newton. Here when you have the direct object unique, particular, you use it as an agent on the passive form. Here it's just Newton who discovered gravity, no one else. At this time it's necessary to use the agent by Newton. It's not just gravity was discovered full stop, but gravity was discovered by whom? By Newton, because it's particular for Newton. I hope it's clear for you. So the questions, to which forms are sentences 1, 2, and 5 sentences and justify? What about the sentences 2, 4, 6, and 7? To which forms are they? So try to answer to the questions without looking to the keys, please. To say if you understood the lesson very well. We move to the third question. On what does the speaker focus when using passive voice? And what do we write? When do we write, the agent for passive form? So try to answer to the questions to understand the lesson very well. So the sentences are two active forms because the doer, which is the subject, does the action. I already said that on the explanations. Please do answer the questions and look for the keys. The sentences 2, 4, 6, and 7 are two passive forms. Third answer, the speaker focuses on the action itself and the object of the sentence. Fourth, the agent for passive voice is written when it's unique or particular situation, as the example 9, where the gravity is discovered by Newton. It's specific action done by Newton. In this case, it's very important to mention the agent by whom. It's the contrast of when you have indirect object. An indirect object you never use by me, by you, by whom. Okay? As a small reminder, to turn the verb from active form to passive form by adding a form of the auxiliary verb to be according to the tense of the verb on the active form plus the past participle of the verb. I already said that. As you note, object pronouns are never agents. That's what we said. Me, you, him, her, them, us. They are not agents. You took the money from my pocket. It's active voice here. You took the money from my pocket. And here the verb to take to simple past. So the auxiliary to be will be to, simple past to, past participle of the verb to take. So we say the money from my pocket was taken by you. We don't say by you. By you here is omitted. So we say the money from my pocket was taken. Full stop. That's the right way. For the tenses change from active form to passive form, we have here a table, and for each case of tenses, I gave you example. One example for each tense. Okay? So we have active tenses and we have passive tenses. They are called present active, simple active, or present simple passive. We start here. Present active, the government fight corruption. For present passive, we say corruption is fought by the government. Past active, we say the government fought corruption. Past passive, we say the corruption was fought by the government. Okay? So this is for present active, past active, and present passive, past passive. With an example. Present perfect active, present perfect passive. Present perfect active, we say the government has fought corruption. Present perfect passive, we say corruption has been fought by the government. So here auxiliary to be is be. Future simple active, future simple passive, we say the government will fight corruption. Okay? And future simple passive, we say corruption will be fought by the government. Okay? Now for modals, for the active, we say the government must fight corruption. I just gave you example with must. You can use should, you can use can, could, may, might. And for modals for passive, we say corruption must be fought by the government. So you use the modal plus to be stem plus the past participle of the verb fought. Present continuous now. For present continuous active, present continuous passive, the government is fighting corruption. For present continuous passive, we say corruption is being fought by the government. Okay? So we have to be with plus ing plus the past participle of the verb. Past continuous active and past continuous passive, we say the government was fighting corruption for past continuous active. For past continuous passive, we say corruption was being fought by the government. So this is for past continuous active and past continuous passive. I hope the tenses are clear. Okay, with practice, you will learn them by heart, just with practice. So we move to the task to complete sentences sentence B so that it means the same as sentence A. We have the first. Curie, Marie, and Pierre discovered the chemical. Okay? So they discovered the chemical elements, radium and polonium. So we say, for 1B, what do we say? We say chemicals and you carry on. TV programs, books on pollution are being produced. So we say ecologist. Okay? So here to transform from passive to active or active to passive. Serious measures have been taken to fight bribery. So we say the authorities. What? I hope you do the task. Then you look for the keys. And on the next video, I will give you more tasks about passive form. The human trafficking phenomenon has certainly attracted public opinion. Or we say public opinion. They have translated most of Al-Khwarizmi's books. So Al-Khwarizmi's books, what? For the keys, we take a look for the solutions of these sentences, B forms. For the first, we say the chemical elements were discovered by Curie, Marie, and Pierre. Ecologists are producing TV programs and books on pollution because it's present continuous passive, it's moved to present continuous active. The authorities have taken serious measures to fight bribery. Here we have present perfect active to present perfect passive to present perfect active. Public opinion has certainly been attracted by the human trafficking phenomenon. So here we had present perfect active, we transform it to present perfect passive. And we have an adverb certainly. We pay attention where we put it. It's between the auxiliary has and been, the auxiliary verb been. Clear? Then the agent by the human trafficking phenomenon. The last example, we say Al-Khwarizmi's books have been translated to different, languages because they are so useful books. I hope the video is clear for you and you had a little bit understanding of the passive and the active forms. With practice, you can learn it better. Thanks for watching. If you have any question or explanation, you write it down.